So apparently, Mark Ruffalo and the rest of the woke left Hollywood celebrities looked at America's 250th birthday and decided it was a perfect day to scold the country. Mark Ruffalo, like every one of these woke Hollywood celebrities, apparently believed the 4th of July was crying out for a stern lecture. So when Mark Ruffalo lined up with the other Hollywood celebrities, he handed the critics a gift that they never have bought. Mark Ruffalo and his fellow Hollywood celebrities filmed the entire thing in crisp high definition with their own names stamped on it, and nobody forced Mark Ruffalo or a single one of those Hollywood celebrities to walk into this disaster, and that's exactly what made this so delicious. So basically, on the morning of July 4th, 2026, while the whole country geared up to celebrate 250 years of independence, historian or leaning on woke love nut job Timothy Snyder, as you all see here, quietly dropped the video on his Substack. So the clip pulled basically together more than dozens of a dozen of celebrities and everything, right? And it is weird but cringeworthy at the same time and stuff. And he has a dozen famous faces to read aloud from his 2017 book entitled that was called On Tyranny, a slim volume of 20 lessons about how the democracy supposedly slide toward authoritarian rule. So each star took a turn delivering one lesson straight down the barrel of the camera and basically of their phones and stuff. And there's no surprise either because, well, they're out of touch and stuff, and they really face a hilarious backlash and stuff that they didn't even see coming. So yeah, each star took a turn delivering one lesson straight down the barrel of the camera in that hushed, deadly serious tone that they saved for award season monologues. So basically, the entire thing was openly branded as counter programming, a shot fired directly at the White House celebration happening the same day, which was yesterday on July 4th, on the nation's birthday. So this crowd decided that the assignment was a group book report. So I'm going to briefly check it out because he does have a paywall on this. He does have copyrighted and stuff. So there's going to be several times going to stop and talk as well.
And concentration camp directors seek businessmen interested in cheap labor.
What is he really talking about anyway? Like it's basically this is definitely this is programming a part of his agenda and stuff. They talk about Project 2025 and all of that, but let's be real. It's just the equivalent of this is their Project 2025 basically.
If you carry a weapon in public service, may God bless you and keep you. But know that evils of the past involve policemen and soldiers finding themselves one day doing irregular things. Example,
and here's some other clips back here.
To do so.
Remember professional ethics.
Remember professional ethics.
Remember professional ethics. Remember professional ethics. Jeez Louise, I can't with these people. Oh, look who it is also.
To abandon facts is to abandon freedom. If nothing is true, then
I guarantee you the next celebrity up is Ted Danson.
Power, because there is no basis upon which to do so. If nothing is true, then all is spectacle. The biggest
watch it be Ted Danson next. Just watch.
Investigate.
I told you it was Ted Danson next. And they also have Misha Collins. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who Misha Collins is, but who cares?
Figure things out for yourself. Spend more time with long articles. Subsidize investigative journalism by subscribing to print media. Realize that some of what is on the internet is there to harm you. Learn about.
Whoa! Realize what's on the internet is there to harm you. Interesting. I wonder if this Substack that this dude put up here is also harmful and stuff. Matter of fact, the cast list reads like the seating chart at a very expensive dinner party. Sarah Jessica Parker narrated, and opened the production here at the beginning, okay? And Ted Danson turned up. Judd Apatow turned up, Billy Porter, as you all saw, even Molly Ringwald, Lisa Rinna, Shirley Ralph, Leslie Odom Jr., Holland Taylor, Bradley Whitford, Tony Goldwyn, and Jennifer Lewis all turned up. Folk legend Joan Baez and novelist Margaret Atwood and Isabel Allende joined in too, and right alongside former Attorney General Eric Holder, because nothing screams grassroots quite like a former cabinet official reading you pretty poetry about resistance. So 20 plus millionaires and household names gathered to gently instruct or lecture the peasants below on how to feel about their own country on Independence Day. You couldn't write a sharper self-parody if you sat down and tried. So the lines themselves are, where this tips from preachy into pure comedy, where Leslie Odom Jr., Shirley Ralph, and Holland Taylor each solemnly intone the phrase, "Do not obey in advance." Isabel Allende and Lisa Rena warned the audience to be wary of the one-party states. We had that before, though. We had that before for like a decade, okay? And there were grave instructions to be wary of parliamentaries and to practice corporal politics, a phrase that means absolutely nothing to family flipping burgers in the backyard. So basically, they want to go ahead and have you to bring back the whole DEI lecturing and stuff, make everything woke again. And every sentence arrived with the weight of a hostage message. Sarah Jessica Parker opened the whole thing by telling viewers that 250 years ago, a revolutionary idea was born. The idea that ordinary people could govern themselves. A lovely sentiment right up until you remember who was busy talking down to those ordinary people. Not to mention, whenever people who are from a different political party that's not on the left and stuff, when they bring these stuff up against them, all of a sudden they call them right-wing trolls and stuff. Every istophobe in the book. But this timing is the detail that turns this from tone deaf into staggering. So this landed squarely, basically, on the 4th of July, the 250th anniversary of the founding of milestone the entire nation had been building toward for years. Millions of families were watching fireworks, waving flags, and grilling in the backyard. And this crowd picked the exact moment to release a grim sermon warning that the country is sliding into dictatorship. So the message to every ordinary American rang out loud and clear. Your celebration is naive. Your patriotism is a warning sign, and your enlightened voices of the coast have arrived to set you straight. I mean, that's the jaw-dropping misread of the room and stuff, and the internet clocked it in within hours, okay? So yeah, they did go ahead and they really got a big backlash and stuff. People just went off on them in the comments and stuff. Matter of fact, let me go back to Timothy Snyder post over here. People just let them have it and everything. Why don't any of you super ignorant CSs say a GD word when there's a D in front of their names? Remember COVID, all the other stupid stuff you did? Probably not because of the selective memory. Yeah, that's a good one right there. But the whole production buckles under its own weight the second you look at who is delivering the message. So there's some of the wealthiest, most insulated people in the entire country. I mean, we're talking about gated mansions, private security details, and net worths of the average viewer could not even touch in 10 lifetimes. So this same group gathered to warn the working class about the dangers of concentrated power and shadowy elites pulling the strings. The missing self-awareness is almost artistic, where you have a bunch of multimillionaires and stuff out here just simply shielded with by walls and money most families will never see, lecturing those families about tyranny from behind those very walls. The same voices that spend years telling you to trust the experts and obey every mandate are suddenly consumed with worry about obedience. So the backlash came fast and it came hard, where Fox News ran a story about it almost immediately, casting it as celebrities crashing America's birthday party with a grim holiday warning. Red State also calling it a head-first sprint into a wall of cringe. A doom and gloom book club dropped into a middle of a patriotic celebration. Heck, even the post-millennial and stuff right here, and the WLT report, and even Breitbart piled on inside the same 48 hours of, the sharpest hits, though, came straight from the ordinary commenters asking one very simple question all in unison. Why do millionaire actors believe they carry the education, the moral authority, or the standing to lecture regular people about their own government? Of course, they're not going to supply the good answer and stuff, but those like Mark Ruffalo is a member of this Hollywood celebrities lineup who personally makes the case for every critic out there. He has. Talking to Variety, Mark Ruffalo warned, about warned about the government that caters to the wealthy and powerful, a line that lands strangely from a roster of Hollywood celebrities worth a collective fortune like him. And Mark Ruffalo sits on an estimated pile of tens of millions and stuff, and the same holds true to most of those Hollywood celebrities. You see, there's something about there's something almost breathtaking about Mark Ruffalo and these Hollywood celebrities warning working families about the influence of the rich. The call, as old as the old line goes, was coming from inside the mansion, because Mark Ruffalo and every one of these woke Hollywood celebrities was broadcasting from a life of pure luxury. Okay, so the online backlash was loud and brutal. Okay, the response was brutal in the raw numbers, where the video got ratioed, buried under comments, and quote posts running nearly heavily against it. Exhaustion was the dominant theme. People are worn out from being scolded on their own holiday by the most comfortable citizens in the country. Others flagged the historical irony of rich entertainers quoting a book about 20th century authoritarianism while cheerfully just ignoring every uncomfortable parallel inside their own industry. A business notorious for blacklists, groupthink, and punishing anyone who steps out of line. So to huge numbers of viewers, the clip simply read as a live case study in how out of touch their world has become. Even people who lean left admitted the optics were rough. Okay. And Mark Ruffalo spent years just simply building his public identity around exactly this kind of messaging, and the Hollywood celebrities beside him played the same part. So Mark Ruffalo cast himself as a conscience for the nation, while the other woke Hollywood celebrities nod along between blockbuster paydays. So basically, when Mark Ruffalo and the Hollywood celebrities package, this as a heroic resistance, they plainly believed it would land in the history books. But what Mark Ruffalo and other Hollywood celebrities actually revealed was a bubble thick enough to block out the entire country. Not one person around Mark Ruffalo or among these Hollywood celebrities paused to ask whether lecturing America on its birthday might land like a lead balloon. Okay, but all in all, let's just keep it a bean though. The picture who was actually sitting in front of the other side of that screen. Regular people who grind all year for a couple of days off, finally getting a long weekend to relax with their family. Veterans marking the very day they served for. Kids waving little flags and counting the minutes until the fireworks start. And actual immigrants who chose this country and were celebrating their first Independence Day as brand new citizens. That's the audience that this video chose to wag their finger at. While the elites filmed somber warnings in their home studios, those families were outside living their lives, the exact freedom the stars claim to be defending. So the distance between those two Americas has rarely looked as wide as it did Saturday night. Okay, so yeah. Once the dust settles, the scoreboard looks brutal for Mark Ruffalo and every one of these Hollywood celebrities. You see, Mark Ruffalo and the rest of the Hollywood celebrities handed their critics a flawless, gift-wrapped ensemble of everything people already say about them. Mark Ruffalo, alongside with these woke Hollywood celebrities, poured real time, real money, and real star power into the clip, and their opponents never had to lift a finger because Mark Ruffalo and the woke Hollywood celebrities did all the damage themselves. Now, money can't buy back the self-inflicted wound that Mark Ruffalo and these woke Hollywood celebrities just carved into their own reputations. And that leaves the simple takeaway about Mark Ruffalo and the woke Hollywood celebrities who joined him. You see, These Hollywood celebrities and even Mark Ruffalo himself will almost certainly run this exact play again, because self-reflection has never been their strong suit. Every stunt from Mark Ruffalo and the Hollywood celebrities hands ordinary Americans one more reason to trust their own judgment. The country turned 250 years around old without asking permission from Mark Ruffalo or a single one of these woke Hollywood celebrities. So fireworks lit the sky, families gathered on their lawns, and the lectures from Mark Ruffalo and the Hollywood celebrities faded out by morning. So as usual, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.